Yay, the day has come. Today is all about time blocking. I don't know if you've heard about it, but if you own a business or even if you work in an office but have a side gig and you feel a little bit disorganized, you switch from one task to the next and feel like you haven't really done anything at the end of the day, then this video is for you. Hi, I'm Kris from KVM Design. If you like this video, please give it a like and subscribe if you like the type of videos that we post. It has everything to do with scaling your business. If you're a small online business owner, interior designer or not, you'll find a lot of tips about mindset, how to delegate, how to step into your CEO role. You'll get interviews with experts who can give you tips to really move forward in your business. What is time blocking? Time blocking is a time management technique that involves blocking off periods of time to do specific tasks. And the goal is really to increase productivity, improve your focus, and deter procrastination. Before you start blocking off periods of time in your calendar, the important thing to do is what I would do is for a week, just track everything that you do. So you can use a time tracking app like Toggle, that's what I use, and just track everything that you do for a week. So even, time that you take your phone to check your messages, answer an email or answer a friend or go do your laundry while you're at home working. And this is gonna be a good test because you're gonna get a better understanding of how long tasks take you. So for example, how long do you need to edit a YouTube video? It's very important that you know approximately how long things take so that when you do time blocking, you're just not gonna, give it a time that's not realistic. So time blocking basics. Time blocking prevents you from multitasking, which is super important. I'm gonna be honest, I still have a little bit this problem, but I will say that it's much better since I started time blocking. So because you need to block periods of time for everything, so that means, even when you go to the gym, when you have daily check-ins with your team, when you answer emails, or when you call back someone that you need to call back on that day, you have to put everything in your calendar. So it means that you focus really on only one task at a time. You can even plan out when you're allowed to check social media. That's my big problem right now, is that I still check social media or my WhatsApp messages quite regularly, which you really shouldn't do. Because when you do time blocking properly, your focus is going to be 100% on that task. When you switch from one task to the next, by the time you come back to the first task, your focus is just not going to be the same as when you stop doing this task. So by just doing one task at a time, you really have the time to get into that task and be more intentional with what you're doing, be more intentional with your time. Number two, taking control of your time and your schedule is essential. Planning is key here. Before the start of the week, brain dump everything that needs to get done that week. So that means everything from calling a friend to a birthday party, to all the top priorities that you have in your business. And just make a note next to the top priorities, the ones that absolutely need to get done by the end of the week. Because then it's probably the ones that you're gonna have to put first in your calendar. You can do it on paper, on a notepad, on your Mac, or or your Google Calendar. I personally love ClickUp. ClickUp is a project management app. I use it for everything. I manage my client projects. I manage my team. This is where I give tasks to my team. I have literally everything. All my brain dumps for everything: content creation, YouTube. I have all my calendars: a calendar for work, a calendar for my personal life that I can view together or separately. So I love ClickUp. I will do a video about it if you're interested to understand how it works. But yeah, so that's what I use to brain dump everything. So I just do a list of everything that needs to get done this week, making sure that I annotate the top priorities, and the top priorities shouldn't be more than 2 or 3, I would say. Literally every day you shouldn't have more than 1 or 2 priorities, but then 2 or 3 big priorities that week. So when you start blocking time on your calendar, make sure you block enough time for those high priority tasks. So now I just want to go through how I plan on ClickUp. As I said, you can use Google Calendar or another calendar if you want. I like ClickUp, and I will tell you exactly how I use time blocking on my calendar. So what I like about ClickUp is that for a specific card, so now here the calendar, I have different statuses. So it means that all the tasks that I put in my calendar have different colors based on what they are. So for example, I have a status for my puppy. I have a status for health and well-being, so that could be meditation or the gym or yoga or whatever. I have personal meetings, so that could be a doctor's appointment, for example. I have events, I have YouTube, Facebook group, all of those statuses. So when I look at my calendar, I can see based on the color what category they are. So how I use time blocking. Step 1, I look at the top priorities for the week, and then I look at each day separately. Step 2, I check first which days I have calls that have already been planned or events that I cannot move. So I look at that first, because then it's going to help me understand how much time I have to work around those meetings or those calls or those events, and when it makes sense to have certain type of tasks. Step 3, I start blocking off periods of time for those items. So the priority items, what is already planned, I can't move. So the events, the calls, the meetings. So then I already have a good overview of what I cannot change. I also like to use recurring items. So for example, if there's a task that happens over and over again, whether it's daily, weekly, or monthly, I save them as recurring tasks, because it means that they will automatically appear when they're supposed to appear, instead of me having to do everything manually. So for example, every day at 9:30, I have a daily check-in with the team. So this appears every day in my calendar. I don't have to put it manually every day. Or for example, at 7 a.m., I have daily meditation and yoga practice. This is part of my morning routine. And so this will be automatically every single day, except for the weekend, on my calendar. Step 4, I just start plugging in everything else. So based on my brain dump, I just start to look at what makes sense. And I try to kind of save time as well for myself. So for example, literally today, at 12, I have an interview on Zoom with someone. So I know I kind of have to put on makeup and be presentable, so not work in my PJs. So since I have to spend the time to look okay, I make sure that today is the day that I'm going to record my YouTube videos, because then I only get ready once and I can do all the videos and the interviews that I need to do. Step 5, I talk about him all the time, Tim Ferriss, the 4-hour work week. I use his principle of working less while increasing productivity. In his book, he suggests that we should reduce the number of hours that we work in a day or a week. So for example, he was suggesting to maybe only work 4 days a week, or stop work at 4 p.m. or 5 p.m., whatever. But by decreasing the number of hours that you are working, and making sure that, when you say that you're going to stop work at 4 p.m., then you really have to stop at 4 p.m., you're creating a sense of urgency, which means that those priority items, that you have to get them done before 4 p.m. It's a non-negotiable. So by creating, these deadlines that everything needs to get done, then you are way more productive, because you stop doing all those small tasks or checking your phone all the time, because you know that you don't have that much time to complete the priority items. And I want to remind you that as a CEO, the goal is to free up more of your time while maintaining or increasing your profits. And you shouldn't have to fill up more of your calendar. The goal is to work smarter and not harder. And I always tell you that. Over time blocking is going to get easier and easier, because you're going to have a better understanding of how long tasks actually take you. There are 2 things that I do. I always make sure that I do not fill up my calendar. I know that a lot of people on YouTube who do videos about time blocking literally time block everything on their calendar. I think it creates more stress, and also it doesn't give a lot of flexibility if something arises that you don't have control over. So I always make sure that I put in everything that's really important, but I give a little bit of flexibility. I don't try to fill in my entire calendar. The other thing that I also do is that I allow for a little bit more time to complete each task. So for example, if I think that something is going to take me 1 hour, I might give it a block of an hour and a half just to make sure that I have enough time, that I don't feel too too stressed, that I don't have that much time to complete the task. And problems come up. If you complete a task a little bit faster than expected and you're feeling productive, you want to keep going, just look at what you have planned for tomorrow and just start a task that you were going to do tomorrow. So there's nothing wrong with that, and it's actually good. If you feel productive, just keep going. However, if you haven't managed to finish a task, you have to be okay with the fact that it can be done, it can be finished within the next time block that you allowed for it, tomorrow or 2 days from now. If you allow flexibility in your schedule like me, you might be able to work on it an extra half hour, but otherwise be okay with the fact that those time blocks is really about time and not about finishing a task. Ideally, you want to finish it within the time block that you set for it, but otherwise just finish it in the next time block. The last thing that I want to say, whatever step it is now, is be really mindful about what you put in your calendar. As a business owner, even if you're not a business owner, a lot of the stuff that you put in your calendar or that you generally do on a daily basis can really be deleted. So be mindful, just think about what should be kept, with what is essential, what can be deleted, and what can be delegated. And a lot of what happens in my business is actually delegated. I have removed a lot from my calendar. So my goal is to work smarter and not harder. So most of the stuff that is happening in the business right now is delegated to my team, and I only work on what's essential to increase profit, increase sales. So just be really mindful of what you can delegate that is not worth your time. It's not just about time, but it's also about making sure that you are not overly stressed or fatigued to do more creative stuff, the stuff that really needs to be done by you. Before the end of this video, I'm going to show you what my calendar looks like. I hope it's helpful, but as I said, I use ClickUp. You can use Google Calendar. The principle is exactly the same. And if you like this video, please give it a like. Hey, so this is my ClickUp calendar. I use it for everything in my life, that business, private life. As you can see here, that's where I manage my client projects, my team, brain dump content creation, have some planning and scheduling, and I have all my calendars. I have a KBM design calendar, I have a personal calendar, and I have a Facebook group calendar. But then if I click on the general one, I have everything in the same one, or I have just, you can just look at them individually. Anyway, the reason why, I forgot that with Loom, it's super slow. Okay, so as you can see, this is my time blocking calendar. Most of it is green. That's because when the tasks are done, most of them I just change the status to remember that they're done, and it kind of makes you feel good as well knowing that they're done, and you look at your day and it's all green. But generally, when I put them in the calendar, they would be different colors. So the blue ones, it's the recurring one, or we're not on the day yet, so they haven't. They all look blue. Sorry, but then, so for example, I wanted to show you for today. So remember that the first step is to look at your entire week, kind of plug in. First of all, do a brain dump of everything that needs to happen. If there are any meetings or calls or events that have been scheduled already, those are the first ones that are going to appear in your calendar. And then you can, after you have like an overview of the week, you just start plugging for each day what you want to get done. So for example, for today, the first one is a recurring task, so I don't have to add it manually. It's added automatically to my calendar. It's the morning routine, meditation and yoga. The walk with Lola as well is always kind of recurring because I have to walk my dog. It's a non-negotiable. This one is recurring as well. It's the daily check-in with my team. I need to check the calendar of the projects in progress and make sure that everybody's on track. Instagram connecting as well, because at 10, I schedule my Instagram posts on Planoly. So just before the post goes out, I should be doing half hour of Instagram connecting, and I'm going to be totally sincere with you, it doesn't always happen. Then since I had a call at 12, or I have, because I'm almost, as you can see, it's almost there, a call, and I have to do an interview on Zoom with her, then it means that I wanted to record all my YouTube videos. I only did one actually today because that ClickUp one was a little bit long. I wanted to make sure I didn't forget anything. But generally, I would try to film like 2 or 3 videos. What I'm not putting though is, and I should probably be doing, is that I've been on Slack a lot during this block, which is not good because it's meant to increase your focus. But we're onboarding a new team member, and I just want to make sure she knows what she's doing. So yes, so then I'll have this for the call. I'm also adding where I have my lunch, what I have to do that I don't want to forget. But I kind of leave time. As I said, I'm pretty flexible with my schedule. I didn't even put anything there. I'll probably add as we go. I don't always plan everything during the day because I know things come up. But let's say, for example, the way you would do it. So my doggy is going to the crash. So she's going to be staying with someone, which means that I can do my outside meetings. I'll probably work from a cafe as well. Then at night, I know that it's my boyfriend's mother's birthday, so I could plug it in here. Actually, I just put her name. Okay, so if there's a dinner, it's probably going to be at 7, and I'll just put 3 hours, but it doesn't really matter what time it finishes here. And I work with statuses, so you have different colors. So this is personal meeting, or you could just say personal or event. Let's put it as event because it's a birthday. I could plug in generally. I go to the gym at 3 or 4, so I could plug in the gym. So let's put gym. The gym is going to last for an hour. Oh, okay. Then I'll change the status to well-being and fitness. Okay, and then I'm going to start plugging in different things. So generally, I try to do it a few days in advance. I haven't done much of it here because I wanted to kind of show you how I plug it in. Just remember that you should be using more time that is necessary. So this, for example, is just a reminder that the YouTube video is going live, but it's already scheduled, so I don't have to do anything with it. Then I will just be adding tonight. I'll probably be adding more things that I wanted to do today. And since I've been talking about her so much, she's just annoying you because she wants to come here, give me a hug. So here she is. Anyway, that's how you use time blocking. It's a technique that has really changed my life, and I haven't been doing it, 100%, but we're not perfect. We're just human. So just play around with it. But first, always remember that you have to track everything that you do to have a better understanding of how long things take you. That's it for me. If you like this video, give it a like. Bye.